with Mithras because Mithras has a very uniquely complicated, yet at the same time intuitive combat system, which would be great for fencing, but I'm a geek that way, and most people are not, so.
So you added 3 more tonight that I never heard of. I wrote them down. Interrogation, notice, and culture.
Yeah,
So those are skills. But if you don't actually have dice in the skills, then you don't need to write down that you have the skill, or you'll get confused.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
So think of it this way.
If they're on the original sheet, then they're not ones that you have. So they're just skills like, let's say if Boom had the interrogation skill, so when he asked for that, then she would have been able to use that. Or like, let's see, you don't have explosives, whereas Boom does have explosives because, you know, she likes to explode.
Yeah, by the way, that
she's
reminds
got
me.
that, but you wouldn't have that. So if he called for that skill, you wouldn't be able to roll on it necessarily without using your smarts.
I'm glad I saw yours.
Mhm.
This is all I'm saying. You have that skill
Mhm.
matched to agility.
That's
easy to understand. I
Yep,
get that
it's
then.
matched. Yeah,
So
it's
every
matched
time
to
he comes
agility.
up with-
She's not
every
using.
time she
But
comes
I'm
up
not
with a-
using the agility die. I'm using the die
Correct.
for how
Well, no,
many.
I'm not so worried about that. I'm worried about
Why are you worried about what trait it links
every time
to?
he comes up with a new skill he mentions. He goes, okay.
He's not coming up with a new skill. He's asking if you have the skill, and if not,
Mhm.
you roll on a trait instead of the skill.
Correct.
That's all
Yeah.
he's
Well,
asking.
how do you know what trait to roll on if you don't?
He'll
know?
tell you.
He'll tell you. Because he has the full list of all.
Okay.
He has the full because the
Okay.
list of the skills is like enormous. There's no way you'd be able to keep that.
It's not enormous.
So I say-
There's not enormous. There's only 30 skills in the
So
game.
I say I don't have this, and you
Still
get
a
it
long
fine.
list.
Roll for.
Roll for your trait
Oh,
instead.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, whereupon you get a negative of -2 because
So
you
I don't need to
necessarily
keep
have the
writing
skill.
all this shit down.
No.
No.
The only,
In fact, at this point, if you've been
How
writing
many
down,
fucking skills are
if
there?
you-
I'm like, what
if
are
you've
we
been writing down
doing?
every skill in the game as I've been calling for
I
it,
have
then you
been.
probably think you have skills that you don't actually have access to.
Probably.
So we're gonna. So 2 weeks from now, next week we're gonna actually go through and sit down and rework your character.
the only
Which is
reason
what I asked you
why
later in the week,
I
but we'll
and
keep
she
going
have
from
written
that.
down our stats is because we're hoping to buy edges later on that will give us bonuses for these skills based on our traits.
Correct.
That's the only reason we bothered. I just haven't had a chance to buy those edges yet. She actually has an edge that does that. I haven't got one yet.
How about that?
Yeah, you too. You've got all your skills.
But again, I only
married
did
to a
that.
trait.
I only did that just to save paperwork later.
That just makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
like I said, I only
I've
did it to
got-
save paperwork. I really don't need those there. I just now. But when I get the
Mhm.
edges later, I will need them there.
Yeah,
Okay,
like for
got it.
example, Veronica has salesman, which gives her a +2 on barter roll. She's got attractive, which gives her a +2 charisma. She's got alertness, which gives her a +2 on all notice rolls.
Okay, I can understand
Oh,
that.
I forgot about that.
Okay, all I need to know is if I don't have the skill that he's talking about, you say
alertness. I
roll
can
for
double check
strength. Okay.
Alertness actually has been downgraded to +1, not
Sounds
+2.
good.
that. Okay.
Oh, I get it.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I was wondering about that because I thought I had alertness and she's been rolling a plus. Okay. never
Yeah,
mind.
alertness actually be a +1, not a +2. I downgraded it.
Oh, plus
+1 rather than +2.
Oh, well, you never said that. Yeah,
Okay, so back to what we were doing. So you feel like you need to get up and go do something. You have something important to be doing like right now.
I should have asked, do I determine what that is, or do you?
I'm leaving it open for you. I have given you the mental suggestion
Well,
to
I
your
mean, the
character.
priority here is to get the damn
So,
Yeah.
so the
missile.
the effect you are under from the Mesmetron has put something urgent in your mind to do. What would Father Santiago's brain immediately go to?
Well, what the mission is.
Okay? So how would his brain then say, this is what's going to be needed to fulfill the mission? I need to do this right now.
What would
Well, we're
Santiago-
still trying to gather intel, so I'm not really sure. Blending in is what we're doing right now.
So it would be safe then to say that you get up from the table and walk through the crowd looking for information.
Right.
Okay. So Father Santiago gets up from the table, starts walking through the crowd looking for information. Give me a notice roll. If you don't have notice, that defaults to your smarts. To your smarts.
What's that?
Use your since you don't have notice, you'd be using your smarts.
Right. So that's a D10.
Mm-hmm. You know the D10 again?
D10 and D6 for wild dice, and your hero. Subtract 2 from each die.
Where is this -2 coming from all of a sudden?
Because you don't have the skill. It's always been there.
Just went through this.
I don't remember hearing this.
If you
-2
don't
last
have-
week or the
if
week
you-
before that.
I have done
Yeah,
it every
actually.
game
Yeah.
session.
He's done it every
If
game
you
session.
don't have the skill, you get to default to your stat, but because you don't have the skill, there's a -2 penalty to each die.
And I remember I said earlier, because your stat is so freaking high, even with the -2, you end up balancing out.
You
with
end up,
that 2 dice
yeah,
6.
since your smarts is so high, you almost are as good as someone who has the skill at trained level.
Yeah, well, I haven't been rolling very good.
I know.
That
but
happens.
that has nothing to do, however, with the fact
All
that
right,
your
so what am I
stats so
beating?
damn
What am I
good.
trying to beat here?
This is a general roll. You're just trying to roll as high as you can.
Okay.
Actually, they're pretty good.
You call 6 minus 2 good?
Well,
4 is a
4 plus
success.
6.
Oh,
4 is a
4 is the
success.
target of success.
okay, there you go.
All right, so you're going through the crowd. You hear a couple of things like, "Yeah, I heard about those booms going off. Yeah, the shells going off." And basically, everyone here knows about the gun. And you can tell that the long blades, you can spot them from the scars on their arms, are getting a little bit of respect from everybody nearby. The merchants are afraid of them. The other wastelanders are just trying to stay on their good side so they don't get raided. You pass by one poor farmer who is busy being swindled out of a Brahmin by a raider.
Oh man, these guys are dicks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so back around the table. You, next to Nick Nack. The race starts.
There you
Sure to form.
go. Dead bug in there.
Lucille Ball loses. The odds we're 1 to 5. I mean, come on, right?
Yeah.
And Nick just kind of looks over at you and goes, "Well, I guess I need someone to help console me for my losses."
There you go, baby.
She makes sure her breasts are on display. It's like,
No.
come on. It's
How
like,
far is she willing to go for the cause?
Pretty far.
hey, if she gets some caps out of it.
Wait, would that make her a hooker?
That's legal.
Wouldn't also be considered a hooker? She's like, yeah, I mean,
Transactions are
really
transactions.
tough luck. Still horrible. Maybe I could turn it around for you.
Something to lift my spirits.
Yeah.
And other things.
Takes you by the arm and starts walking towards some dirty hovel with you.
Oh, God.
Okay.
You go to the hovel with him.
Bert and Santiago had better be paying attention here.
Oh, I'm paying attention.
All
All
right,
right.
so he's walking her to a hovel. As they pass Bert, you see her and her mark pass by the guy with the submachine gun.
Mm-hmm.
The two raiders nod at one another. The guy with the submachine gun, after the other guy's after Nick Nack is out of view, makes a facial expression. Give me an interrogation. Do you have it?
No, I do not.
Smarts and wild die -2 each.
I don't know why I would have interrogation. Alrighty. 1 raise, 2 raises.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 2
What's your
6s in a
total?
row.
Okay, so the target would be 4. Your total is
Let's see. 6 plus 6
12.
plus 2 plus 5.
14 plus 5.
Mhm.
19.
Mm-hmm.
You
And
can read
and
his
you took,
mind.
and you took away the -2 from each
Yeah.
die every time you
Yeah,
roll.
if I put the even
Now
with
keep,
the
in mind,
negative,
since
that'd be 4.
now keep in mind, since it's a -2 to each die, your bonus die when you roll them are also affected with a -2 as well.
Oh.
That's why I said per die.
Oh,
So each 6 is actually a 4.
okay.
All right, so you had
4
on your
plus
original roll
4.
4, so you actually you have 2 raises.
Mhm.
Okay, you interpret the facial expression to be, "Oh my god, again, what the fuck?" And then he proceeds to start watching the street rather than watch his partner.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Because he's so used to it.
So, time to...
Now, to give you an example, the reason why I
Ease
told him
around.
that, how to make the interrogation roll, so then now Bert and you know, we now have a chance to grab the guy.
Yeah.
He can
I'm
tell
going
from
to-
the other guy's facial expressions and stuff that the guy's now not as attentive.
I'm going to now ease around the block so I can come around to the hovel out of his sight.
Okay, give me a stealth roll.
Now that I know how to do.
Santiago, you're wandering around, you see Bert moving through the crowd. Do you follow him?
Yep.
You suddenly have the urge to follow Bert. This is what you're supposed to be doing.
11.
Whatever it is that you're doing right now, this is the most important thing.
15.
Okay.
Following Bert.
Yeah, 15.
Yep.
It's the mission.
Okay, do you have stealth?
No.
No.
So you're rolling agility and your wild die at -2 each die.
Your agility sucks.
My agility is not bad.
I know, but
I'm rolling agility and what?
Agility and your wild die at -2 each
2d6.
die.
Okay.
It is a crowd, so hiding in the crowd is actually slightly easier. No negative modifiers.
plus he didn't notice you. You only just noticed me.
Right.
Finally, 8.
So you have a raise.
Yep.
All right. So you and Bert saunter over there to a position where you can see the hovel and see into the hovel without being seen. Basically, picture like a bunch of ramshackle buildings that have been quickly put up, small tents, yurts, a couple of like cardboard and tent shacks, that kind of thing.
Tar paper shacks.
Exactly. He pulls you into this small hovel. There's like a bed in there, a small hot plate to like cook stuff with, some discarded beer bottles and food. The bed looks like it came from somewhere.
And it could probably move on its own.
And Nick now starts taking off his jacket and stuff and goes, so I gotta know, what mementos do you carry upon your person? Anything special to you?
Good question. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is caps, but that's probably not a good response.
Yeah.
No
Any
cheater.
piercings, tattoos.
She pulls out something random from the common stuff blank.
He grabs it and he just like pets it and like worships it for a second.
Uh-oh.
What do you do while he's like in
Oh,
awe
good
of this
God
item?
Almighty.
Hey, it's Fallout. People are weird.
Fetishes.
It's my
Let's
precious.
see. Now, what does Jet do exactly?
Jet gets you high, makes
It's
you
a great
hyperactive. It lets you run faster, move faster. It has a mild euphoric effect.
You ever seen that?
Probably wouldn't
What?
be a good idea to give him
It's
that.
the Easter
Not unless you would run to catch him.
Hell no.
Fellowship of the Ring.
Maybe. What is it show?
Yeah, I don't
Jack
think we
Black.
have anything else other than the
Oh,
balls
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
but that says a
that was hysterical.
+2 against fatigue, so
Except
probably
for
wouldn't be a good
Showgirl.
idea to give
No.
him that either. Does she have any cigarettes on her person?
Sure.
Okay, so she pulls out some cigarettes and says, you know, I like to take a smoke first. Find it kind of helps me get in the
Jesus.
Most people smoke after, but okay. He's still petting the object. He's like trying to pin it to his jacket, like a bobby pin or something.
God. What a creep.
I'm
She's
sorry.
definitely lighting
I'm
up
just
the
thinking of
smoke
that
at
Easter
this
egg for
point.
Fellowship of the Ring with Jack Black.
Yeah, she's definitely lighting up a cigarette
Or
at
what
this
kind of
point, 'cause
mementos
she's gonna
he has.
need it to get through the whole weirdo thing.
You see Veronica walk out of the hovel smoking a cigarette.
Too late. That was quick.
And
I was expecting a little more noise.
just want to get him or what?
Nothing
Because
even
I'd rather
happened.
not
He
go
just,
through.
he just sprayed his leather.
We were hoping you'd get him in a compromising situation and make it a lot easier first.
Bloody hell. I'm gonna need a lot more cigarettes after this. You're buying me some freaking alcohol.
I'll buy you 2 butts. Go in there and get him naked. Go.
Walks back in and just all aggressive, like all out, trying to get him stripped.
So you're trying to seduce him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a seduction roll.
Capture him so we can interrogate him.
Don't have it,
And
do you?
since neither one of us
No, I
have
don't.
interrogation.
So
we
that's
should
going to be a
done.
type of speech roll. You need to give
So we
me
gotta-
a.
you're gonna
Actually, you do have
torture
speech though,
him.
don't
No,
you?
no, we're going to get him in time. I'm about to take him to Chico.
Roll me
And
speech
torture him.
and your wild die.
We get to watch.
He is a very easy target to seduce. His difficulty is going to be 7.
+2. So.
All right, so you actually have 2 raises. So Veronica starts working on the guy. I need Veronica to also make a spirit roll.
So you don't gag?
Spirit and wild die, difficulty 6. No, it's been a while since she's had sex.
Yeah, you notice she's actually not done the vertical tango here, or horizontal. Well, it could be vertical. So.
That's right. I'm the one that's gotten laid in the script so far.
Yeah, pretty much. It's been a while. Ooh.
Oh!
Oh yay!
All right, Veronica gets carried away.
Oh boy.
Holy shit.
So before you realize it,
Terrible thing. Uh-huh.
not only are like clothes off of him, clothes are off you. He's funneling parts of your body. Veronica's feeling good, really good, and because you did fail it, you guys outside are like, what is taking her so long?
That's okay. We can probably hear everything that's going on at this point.
And when she comes back to herself, not to get too graphic about it, when she comes back to herself, you're underneath him, and he is on top of you, and things are happening.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Well,
Does she let the act continue?
well, they're kind of on a time frame here,
Is he using a rubber?
so
She doesn't know.
Then in that
Yeah.
case, she definitely don't want to go through with it because hell no
Alright,
does
so
she
you-
want to get pregnant.
So you stop him, give a speech roll to
Or
stop him
worse.
halfway through this act. This is somewhat difficult because, one, he's a man, he's excited, and two, he's a raider, so stopping's not really something he normally does. You give me a
Right.
10 or better.
Well,
Yeah,
can't you
offer
just
him-
whistle for the guys to come in?
You need to give me a 10 or
Well,
better.
How many others?
No.
is better?
4.
All right. So, remember that 2 for your charisma? It's actually
No,
makes
so
6, and don't you have something else for your speech?
Or that doesn't count in this game.
It's fall out.
Oh, +2.
You discount those.
Yeah, you just kind of.
So you actually almost got it, but you do fail it. All right. So you hear Veronica underneath the guy, and Veronica's like playing like stop, stop, and then suddenly you hear Veronica's voice being raised. She sounds like she's in distress.
Okay, now it's time to go.
How did this get to this level?
She failed a spirit roll.
Yep.
Yeah.
She got carried away.
All right. Spirit
Oh.
also represents your self-control. She got carried away before she realized it as she's starting to feel good and things are happening because she's not had sex in a while.
Okay.
Yep.
She suddenly comes back to herself and is like, oh my God, stop, stop, stop. And then when you get in there, she's actually being on him, trying to get him to stop, and he's still going because he's a raider. All right, so now I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to give you guys the drop because, well, he's not aware of anything else around him right now. He's just feeling good.
He's feeling, yeah,
Right?
he's feeling good.
You have the drop on him, which gives you a +4 to hit and damage him, and you also automatically have the initiative. What would you two like to do?
I want to sleep with him.
All right, so Matt's going to try to put a sleeper on him. Normally, such a called shot has a -4 negative, but since you have the drop, that cancels out. You are behind him, and he is unarmed and unattentive. So I'm going to need a total of, it's the neck. Next, right? You need to get an 8 to get the hold on him correctly.
Not a problem.
All right, so you see Bert suddenly jump on the guy's back and wrap him up. That's what happens on the first round. At the end of the first round, we roll to see if he goes out, but he has the first round to resist.
Mhm.
What are you doing while Bert's on top of the guy?
I'm drawing my weapon and being vigilant, make sure no one comes in. And
Smart. You draw the weapon, you turn around, and sure to form, it's a good thing you did so, because hearing the cries of distress, the guy at the SMIG glances around the corner and he sees you and Bert outside the guy's hovel. You're going to have to draw an initiative card against him.
Okay, how did you see us out when we were already in?
He didn't see you guys go
okay.
there,
Okay, no,
but
so,
now he hears the sounds.
right.
so he saw us before we went in.
He saw you before you went in.
Okay.
He didn't see you on the approach. Then he hears the sounds of the sex happening.
Mm-hmm.
He turns the corner and sees him outside skating the street with a weapon drawn. Bang! Instant reaction.
I
Oh
thought
crap,
he
my
was
buddy's in
inside
trouble.
looking out the door.
Door open?
Oh.
Yes? Otherwise, how can he see the street? Okay.
You didn't take cover and concealment, did you?
When you jump on top of him, the weight, Bert, of you on top of him,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to be graphic, but just this would be a realistic
Just be
thing.
graphic.
The weight of Bert on top of him drives the man's hips forward. You need to make another spirit roll for me.
Oh, yay.
I got this going.
There you go.
That sounds like a good idea. She's just hitting me a chip to try to resist.
No, it's not like he's.
Okay. Okay, I think I make it.
You do indeed make it. Okay, so the sensation of that pain doesn't cause Veronica to lose a turn,
Okay.
nor does she have the reaction of, because it's a sudden hard thrust, suddenly having a pleasurable reaction to it,
Mm.
which could happen in such a vigorous thing.
Mm.
So she's still able to control herself for the rest of the round. I will give you an agility check to try to get out from under this somehow or get him outside of your body.
Yeah, let's see.
What was your initiative card? You go first.
Would athletics count in this?
Athletics does indeed count.
Not that it would matter because they're both the same dice, but hey. Ooh. Now I'm suddenly rolling good?
Yep.
Really?
You can stop. You can stop. You can stop.
Well, it's good because that was another 6.
Bert, you see Veronica scrambling out from underneath him, and she gets out from underneath him just in time as you hear him let out a, oh!
Oh, jeez.
Oh my.
I was trying not to be graphic.
She just
Apparently he's
got
into
away from it.
autoerotic asphyxiation.
She just got away before he ejaculated, yes.
Jesus.
Well, think about it. Bert's choking him.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when the human body thinks it's dying?
It's to ejaculate.
Piss, ejaculate, shit.
Did Bort get any of the ejaculation on himself?
Not getting
Well,
that far
yeah,
yet.
them.
All right.
I'm behind.
But they were in mid-coitus when this happened. So again, try not to be graphic, but you all went there. I was going to be tactful, but no, someone said be graphic.
Well, she wasn't exactly saying no either.
Because she understands it's a role-playing game. All right. So you have the initiative. You see the guy coming around the corner, and you see his hand going towards the SMG to take the safety off as the SMG is slowly coming up. What kind of shot would you like to take?
Single shots to the head.
So you're taking a single shot. You want to take an aim shot?
Yes.
So a single aim shot has a high chance of success. A headshot's a neg-6. Aiming adds 2. That makes it neg-4. You need to roll. See, he's got some cover. You'd have a 12 to hit him in the head.
How about just regular? How many shots could I get?
If you take just snap fire, you get 1 for each ROF, which the ROF of that weapon, if I recall correctly, is a 2.
Yep.
So that'd be 2 shots in the round, but then rather than a 12, you actually need a 14. Actually, no, you would be going for the head, though. Hold on, let me figure that. 4, cover makes 4, makes 8. You would need 9s.
Oh, let's go for that.
Okay, but then you can't predict where the shot's landing.
It's all right.
Okay. Roll me 2 attack rolls. You're going to roll 2 dice for your weapon, your firearm skill, and then 2 wild dice. Add each wild die to the attack roll.
Small arms.
Correct.
D6 plus.
So a d6 for the weapon, a d6 for your wild die, and then a second group of 2d6 for your wild die and firearms for the second shot. Make sense?
Do I roll them all at the same time?
Yeah, because it's all the same action.
Okay. Don't fuck me, cocksucker.
So that group and that group. Roll another d6 for that one. 9. 10. Alright, so no raise. So we got 1 hit and 1 miss. One of the bullets careens off the cover, the other one strikes him. Fortunately, he's not wearing any armor. It catches him in the torso. Roll the damage for the shot.
What's that?
What kind of weapon is it again?
It's a M4.
Ouch. That is 2d8 plus 2 if memory serves.
I got 8 right here.
Let's see, I think I have it written down somewhere.
2d8 plus 2.
Yeah.
I just wrote down the import carbine. Didn't write down the damage.
Ouch.
Ow, 12.
Ouch.
So the bullet catches him in the chest. He has a moment to kind of go, and the gun goes this way, and his dying action is that covers on the trigger as the gun's pointed sideways towards the crowd.
Oh!
The guy who grabbed me.
As he falls down, the gun goes on full auto, and you just see people dropping. Spirit and wild die, please, against the guilt.
I didn't do that.
I'm sorry. Are you or are you not Catholic?
And that was your Spanish
Yeah,
Catholic.
but that's not going to be a guilt in the moment. That might be later upon reflection, not in the
That's why I'm having you roll for it now. Because otherwise I might forget.
Scratch my back, will you? So it's the D6 or D8 spirit plus D6.
Spirit die plus a d6 for your wild die. What do you
11.
got? 11? You managed not to have guilt from this. This is just something that happened. It's unfortunate.
So all no kids were killed.
Yeah. And you don't lose any sanity points.
Collateral
You see people
damage.
dropping. Ah!
Not only that, but it'll be blamed on the freaking
Depends who saw it and who didn't see it.
yeah.
Of course, now you have the situation where everybody's panicking, guns are coming out, people are taking cover.
Yeah, this stealth
You have just
mission-
created kind of a firefight.
this stealth op.
Yeah, but nobody's looking at us. Out. Yank him back wait for the doorway so nobody sees him.
Rhonda is putting her clothes on, so the priest gets to see a naked woman for a brief minute.
All right, so you take a round to redress.
Yeah.
And I'm tying the fucker up.
You're taking a round to secure the prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
What's the father doing while this is going on?
Staying the hell out of sight.
Yeah, basically ducked out of sight.
Okay, so you ducked behind the door. So you're actually the one actually watching the street.
Yeah.
Give me a notice roll.
Everybody blame everybody else but us. That's all I want.
What's notice?
Notice is a skill.
It's a skill.
Right.
You had it on the original sheet.
No, I didn't, dude.
I thought you did on the original sheet.
No, this is the one he and I did together.
He may not have.
No, you don't. Yeah, you don't.
So you're
You have
rolling
lots of chicken.
So you're rolling your smarts plus
Okay.
your wild die. -2 each die.
You should have it, but oh well.
Smarts, D10.
I think I'll have to look at the audio record, but I think I recall he actually did put a D4 into his notice on one of the past adventures.
Mm-hmm. I thought he did too.
But I'll double check the audio record about it.
He didn't have a sheet that day though.
Okay,
He
nice.
couldn't find it.
Yeah, but I
This
think
is
you
a game
leveled up.
session.
Ooh,
You leveled
nice.
up, didn't you?
We all leveled up.
'Cause I know
Yeah,
I-
you're sick. You roll again.
14.
Okay, so you're scanning the street, and you look at not only people like Ducky taking cover, and people are starting to have firefights, hold grudges and stuff start to come out. People that are friends are like, back me up, Bob. Sure. Bang, shoots in the back. It's Fallout, right? As all
I
this is
love
going
it.
on, you catch sight of the woman again.
Mm-hmm.
And when all the firefight breaks out, the woman has her 50 caliber muzzleloader in one hand and some weird high-tech gun in the other. Right?
She wanted the eyeless.
No.
And as she runs away from people, she fires the 50 caliber, ducks it away, and then points the gun at somebody around a corner. You can't see what the gun does,
Right.
but you hear the strange warbling sound of it again.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right? And apparently the Mesmatron is actually fairly loud, which is why I said you guys heard it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
She's far enough away that you two won't hear this time, but now he hears the sound too. So all the characters have heard the sound of the Mesmatron going off.
Mesmatron.
That way when I reference it in another adventure, you all will
You
know
know it's
exactly
the
what it is I'm
Mesmatron.
talking about.
Yeah, you did by notice.
So you hear this weird warbling loud sound, like a bunch of, it almost sounds like a bunch of songbirds going off at once,
Cool.
right? And then she ducks around the corner and you lose sight of her.
All right.
2 or 3 raiders start coming towards your hovel. One of them pulls out a Molotov, and right as he lights it, boom! Something hits him in the chest. He drops. The Molotov drops at his chest, and because it's very, unfortunately, very like thin glass, it breaks, sends a fire everywhere. The raiders get away. Now, did we or did we not have walkie-talkies and headsets from the?
Yes, we
We
do.
do.
have walkie-talkies.
You hear over your headset that we got from the Talon Company, Edda's voice say, "You need to move now.
Oh, we're busy doing that right now.
I will cover your exit.
Bert,
Go."
let's wrap this up.
What is the back of this hovel made out of?
It's only got one door. Oh, I'm sorry, the back of the hovel. It's made out of like sheet tin and like weak, loose, rotten plywood.
Yeah.
Okay, so on round 2,
Hanging it open.
on round 2, you're dressed. You're kicking the back of the hovel. You're still watching the street. Since you've now been watching the street for an extra round, you have a +2 to your next roll. So forget the -2 from your dice.
Keep an eye on that.
Okay.
Keep an eye on
So
the
now you're
street.
just rolling your straight. Now you're just rolling your straight.
What trait?
Smarts and wild die.
Well done. If you get D6, you roll it again.
Okay. Okay, I'm pretty convinced that this blonde's a friendly.
Yeah.
She is.
Right.
Guarantee it.
I also need a spirit roll from Veronica.
Everything she's been doing.
Not
has
to be
been helping
disgusted
us.
with herself for what
That's a
happened.
good point. Actually, that's a very valid point. Everything she's done so far has actually helped
Her
us.
first act was to save me from that guy.
Yeah, and your second act was actually make you better at your job.
Yep.
All right, so I'm kicking out the back because these hovels aren't really built very well.
Oh hell yeah! Finally, look at that.
I know. Nice.
Nine.
D6. Roll again.
Oh,
Always roll a 6 again.
Fine.
You
All right,
max
so
out.
she won't have any trauma or insanity from the act.
So that's
Okay.
that's
23.
Because
23.
realistically, that could happen.
So 23. Now that's
Thank you for being a good
you'll
role
pretty
player.
much
I'm
know
just
if
saying
we have
that's
any
all
time.
in game and not personal. I've had such scenes happen in past games and lost players about it because the player took it personally.
It's not like it's actually happening to me. It's just a character.
Not how people think about it, especially if they had something in their
That
past
happens?
that triggers them. I
Yeah.
lost a player once who I did not realize it had something happen in her past that was similar to something happening in game.
Trauma.
we didn't know that.
I didn't know it. She didn't bother to tell me. She left the game for a month. When she came back, she told me why she had left.
Huh.
But
Now,
trauma.
she
is
came
trauma.
back to game, but
Trauma,
she's like, yeah,
trauma.
that kind of thing triggers me. And she was adult enough that she's like, I should have told you about that. She only lasted 2 more sessions, though, before she took off for good.
Hmm.
Because that particular game we were playing was kind of graphic. That was a Cyberpunk game.
Yeah, Cyberpunk is a game. You
And
really
Cyberpunk
need
is
to be
dirty
careful.
and gritty.
Huh.
You gotta be careful with
Okay.
if you got trauma.
There's one Cyberpunk character we had that had a thing because he was insane about corrupting children. That
Shit.
caused some of the other players not to want to play with him, even though he was only portraying a character.
I have had a
And don't
game.
even start about vampire and how oogie that can get.
Yeah, I've had games.
Initiative.
I heard handling mental illness in games is also.
Yeah, can be sensitive too, especially today's SJW generation.
I've had Cyberpunk games where I've had to.
Okay, so we're drawing initiative cards because this is an action scene now, and things can happen. Everybody flip your cards over for me.
I don't have a card.
Oh, well, take the card for me. What do we got? Matt, Ray. Ronnie Slew!
Wow. She is.
She's busy.
I was putting my clothes on.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so the first thing that goes is the Raiders. One of the Raiders who was at the explosion site quickly grabs one of the grenades on the guy who had the Molotov, yanks it off before it goes boom, yanks it. Give me my buddy back, or you're all gonna die! He's trying to make an intimidate. He's trying to make an intimidate check, and you don't have the initiative.
Ooh.
He's a raider. He's not that smart. He's high, probably. He has an 11 to intimidate you all. You all see the grenade in his hand. It's a frag. And you all are reasonably intimidated. And then a bullet appears right in his wrist.
Oh no.
Because Edda has the next ace. Blows his wrist apart. The hand still clutching the grenade hits the ground. And then the fingers open up.
Oh, man!
Boom is so
And the poor
proud.
bastard has time to clutch his hand and go, my hand! Oh, fuck me. Boom!
Boom is so proud of Edda. She gives Edda a pat on the back and says, such a good explosion.
Son of a bitch.
Oh.
This is the luckiest raider ever.
Yes, he is.
The grenade does 2d10 and I rolled a 2.
My God.
That's just not right.
He's got no way
So-
to know.
I don't know, I guess maybe the hand like clutches it or maybe the grenade wasn't made correctly or something.
That's probably.
But the grenade goes off. He gets a little bit of shrapnel in his leg. And you see him holding his hand and hobbling away as he's holding, like, he's got his wrist like this. He's like holding one, he's got stuff up like one of his ears to take the concussion blast as he's hobbling away going, ow, ow, ow.
How about everybody else around him? Those things have a hell of a blast.
Going in
effect.
initiative. The next one is a raider beside him who had a 2 of hearts.
It's like, this is gonna
Who also has taken 2. No damage, not even have to be shaken. He just kind of shakes it off, lights up the house with full auto from his weapon. Ah! I need everyone to make me an agility roll.
Does that
This is like athletics does not count, actually, because this is against an area effect. Wait a minute. But you have cover. Yes, athletics will count because you have cover.
athletics will-
Athletics will count because there actually is cover. Now, this is dodging an area effect weapon. You only have to roll a 4 or better.
I rolled a 3.
However, if you don't get a raise, you take minimum damage because it's an area. So actually, to avoid all damage, you need at least an 8.
14.
I had a 3.
You get lit up.
Yay.
14, you're not hit at all.
I had a 12.
12. Okay.
All right, hold on. But I got a raise. Do I still roll? Do I use
If you
a
take
raise?
a raise, you take no damage.
Oh, okay then. Yeah.
Okay. Poor Veronica gets peppered by 2 rounds.
Ooh.
Jeez.
Oh, God.
I did.
Veronica looks up. One hits her in the throat. The other one hits her right in the face. Like right in here somewhere.
I do have a metal helmet on. Would that help?
The face is not covered, nor is the throat by that helmet.
Okay, so I'm dead.
Maybe, maybe not. Gotta see how much damage he rolls. Okay, so the first one is an 8. What's your toughness? The other thing about Savage Rules is it's pretty hard to kill off a hero.
Is
5.
that on strength?
5.
That's another reason I
5,
wanna use
you have
this on
toughness
my
of 5.
weapons game.
So the first one shakes you.
Yeah, He Musketeers takes
Okay.
some shit that should have killed him. Easily.
I wouldn't know.
The second
You
one,
never read it?
No.
need to
you lose a phantom wound.
to read it in stages.
Okay.
So basically, rather than hit you dead on, the bolts have like scraped you.
Okay. I've got new scores!
When you do read
Veronica scares you both as a welling of blood appears on her neck and across her face as the bullets strike through the cover. But she's only wounded.
Okay.
She is, however, also shaken, so I need to get a spirit roll from Veronica, see if she can still act.
How long is it going to take me to kick through this freaking sheet 10?
We haven't gotten to your turn yet.
Read it incrementally.
That's why we draw initiative cards.
Maybe
Incrementally.
we'll read it
Good
together.
call.
Because it was published in a magazine.
We'll do a reading project together.
Oh, good thing you spent that.
Yeah.
Veronica shakes it off. She's able to act for the turn.
Whatever.
The next person up is the good father.
You need to shoot that fucker.
What am I rolling for?
Small
He
one?
was foolish enough to be a raider out in cover at short range. You need a 4.
Fuck face. I'm gonna nail this bitch.
Yeah, nail him good.
Okay, so
Use your small arms and your
So you
wild
can take a
eyes.
single aim shot. You can take a snapshot for each rate of fire. You can take short bursts, or you can dump the clip.
no need to dump the clip. That's
magazine.
stupid. I'm gonna hit
Sorry.
2 shots at him. Oh yeah.
All right,
right?
2 snapshots at him. You need 4s.
Come on, daddy.
You got it.
Ooh. 10.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that one exploded.
Roll it again.
6.
Just a D6.
Oh, sorry.
So 10 plus.
Another D6 that exploded.
So 16 plus.
Roll it again.
Yeah, 3.
So total of 19. So 8 would be the first raise, 12 would be the second raise, 16 would be the third raise. You have 3 raises on this poor boy with the
Wow.
first shot.
I don't feel sorry for him at
So
all.
with the first shot, you're rolling your weapons damage plus 3 additional d6.
Okay, let me have
What
one
was
more
the
d6,
Emperor?
please.
Damage on
2d8.
2d8?
2d8 base plus
2d8.
3d6.
Here's 1 d8,
2d8. And you're not rolling a d6 on that, right?
2 d8.
No, he's rolling 2d8 from the base weapon,
Okay,
and then 1d6 for each raise.
Okay.
so 2,
3.
3.
You need 3d6.
Take that one.
Add it all up.
Oh God.
Yeah, he's probably dead.
Well, you know what? He shot her twice. I don't give a fuck. Shot my friend.
Yeah.
Theology goes out the window when my friends get.
No, not really. Second hit. You got to turn the other cheek, but the second hit's yours.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Got a couple ones.
5, 6, 1, 1.
6, 11, 16, 18.
All right, so his toughness is 6. You have 18.
Yeah.
So shaken would be 10. The wound that would kill him would be at 14. You have a total of 16, you said?
Yes, sir.
So you've got a kill. He drops. Bullets somehow hit him like in the chest or maybe the upper body. He drops, gunfires, typical Western. Blah! Gone. Matt's up.
I'm banging my way out the back door.
Roll an attack roll on the wall. I know that seems silly, but the higher your attack success is, the more damage you do.
I backstabbed the book.
You can't quickly attack a book. Why not? It's got a spine. Darkness Rising, man.
Oh, shit.
Everyone quotes that movie now.
So let's see. 11, 2, 13.
13 total?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the wall probably has a toughness because it's like construction of 6. You manage to kick about a basketball-sized foot through it, and then you find some other weak points. By the end of the round, you will have a way out.
Okay. That's all I'm concentrating
Okay, next up are the next bad guys. In the hail of the gunfire and stuff, a couple of ranchers come by, convinced that there must be something shooting at them from the wall, and they fill the place full of lead. Give me another agility.
Jesus.
Firefights are very chaotic. Give me another athletics and wild die roll against area attack. You need a 4 or better. 8 not to take any damage whatsoever.
Oh, finally got a 7.
Oh, God!
7's not enough not to take any damage.
Oh, my God. I matched them both. 4 and a 6.
Did you get it again?
Why can't I roll that when I'm shooting at
Yeah,
somebody?
Veronica spins as another bullet catches her in the shoulder, this one doing no damage, catching in her armor.
Veronica, go prone.
Seriously.
She's just
Wait,
a
how
floor
did she kick one in
magnet.
the throat and the face and she's okay?
Because I rolled low.
Oh, it grazed her. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I rolled low. It represents a graze.
So the bullet didn't penetrate. It just kind of nicked some skin on her.
Apparently, yeah.
Yep.
But even that, she's still taking an actual wound.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so
Things.
last thing in the round.
That's me.
What do?
I'm bolting out of that damn hole.
Yeah.
You're going to run across the ground that has no cover in the middle of a firefight.
Well,
I just want to make sure I heard you correctly.
At this point, it's better than her being not prone.
I guess I'll go
I'll
to-
tell you what,
What?
because how you've been shot and how you've been frightened, I'd actually see a spirit roll to keep you from running out that hole.
As long as she has to crawl, she'll be fine.
Crawl out the hole, that'll work. Got a 5. I don't know what
No,
that
no,
is.
no. Veronica bolts out the hole at top speed.
So basically, she's making like an inchworm, huh? High speed.
Some shots are popped at her. One hits her in the back,
Yay!
but does no damage.
That takes some pretty harsh penalties.
New round!
I have a question.
Yeah.
What kind of penalties do you take when you're shooting at a prone target?
In Savage Worlds, there's automatically a plus. Attacking a prone target adjacent to it's a -1. Sorry, is a +1 to the attack roll. Trying to hit a prone target with a ranged attack, if you're a certain distance away, is a -1 automatically because it's like kneeling.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're within, I think they said within like 10 feet or so, then there's no modifier because like he's laying right there. I can see him.
Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. I was just curious about that because
But yes, there is indeed a penalty for trying to hit hit a prone target.
I hadn't even considered it. All those firefights we've been doing, I hadn't considered it yet.
Okay, initiative cards are.
I just been making my character get prone just out of habit because
King.
that's just what I do.
All right, Bert, you're going first.
Well, we need a bigger hole to fit naked asshole through.
Well, you got enough room you can get out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's why she bolted.
Well, I'm going to start stuffing.
bathroom.
Sure.
I'm going to start stuffing Mr. Jack. You know, Mr.
You
Jack.
have the body?
Well, yeah.
All right, you have the body. Give me a strength roll. Get him up on your shoulder.
Yeah, my strength is actually pretty good. I'm gonna put another die on my strength though next time I get some experience points necessary to do it. Jesus, I'm exploding dice all over, except in combat. I haven't rolled a single exploded die in a combat round yet. Pissing me off. So that's an 8, 5. So 13.
13.
Yeah.
Okay, you have him up on your shoulder, and a single action, you can still act.
All right, then I'm going out the new door,
You start running out the door.
and I'm weaving.
So you're spending the whole turn defending.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
I don't want him shot because I bought body armor, but he's naked. Which,
Yep.
by the way, where's his junk? Because I need that in my face.
Well, I assume if it's the standard lift, you've got his rump in your hands. His junk would be on your shoulder.
Thank God I got armor there.
Okay, next
Now I
up
know
the
what
initiative
she
order
smells like.
are some of the bad guys. A couple of shots are popped at you.
Like I said, I'm weaving.
No hits.
I'm weaving.
Next up is actually Father Santiago, but we need to wait for him to get back to.
Oh, is that your
Educate
controller
what
on the
he's
floor
doing.
there?
Our controller's up on top of the.
Oh, no,
Xbox.
I mean this?
Yeah. Is that a
Oh,
controller?
this is a stuffed animal.
Oh, it
That's
looked just like a
stuffy.
controller from this distance.
That's one of the Tuffy toys.
Yes. Well, it's
Okay.
not a Tuffy toy, but it's a toy she's decided is a Tuffy toy.
So it's a
because
Tuffy toy.
it's- Yeah.
The dog gets a vote. It's a Tuffy toy.
I need to buy a new toy for my dog. He's torn up everything. Jojo, our new dog, he's got some freakishly strong jaws, even for a Boston Terrier.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's really funny. I get him on one of those knotted towels, and I'll sit there and hang him like a good 3 feet off the floor.
Okay.
I mean, he is tough.
Yeah, I mean, you probably establish some play days with her and him, get her socialized
Well,
with the dogs.
actually, he doesn't handle the dogs well. Actually, the one I want to bring over is Huggy Bear,
Well,
Stony.
I'd kind of like to see her around other puppies and see how she does with puppies.
We haven't had puppies yet. Since those 3 puppies died, we're not going to breed for a while.
But you still have puppies in the house,
Well,
right?
they're not puppies though. They're adults.
You only had them like what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, but they died. Remember? That's the reason they didn't come last game.
Oh, you lost all the puppies from the litter.
Yes, did.
I thought you had more than 3 puppies in the litter.
No, just 3.
Aww.
Aw.
That's the reason we're not going to be breeding for a while either. Is because we have to figure out if the
What
virus
happened.
is going to be
Yeah.
a problem or not.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, one of them we were going to keep one of them, Felix, the male. We were going to keep him, and I actually did intend to bring him to play with Tuffy once he got older,
Aww.
because I wanted him to be used to bigger dogs.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he would have been cute too, because he kind of looked like a milk cow.
Okay.
He had dark brown to almost blackish brindle blotches all over him, and he had a perfectly white face. He was a cutie.
Let's get a light in here. This light's dying. Hey, baby girl.
Oh, can I have some of that rum?
Yeah, sure.
Just a shot.
For your shot.
Yeah, just a shot.
Have you had Florida before?
No, I have not. That's the reason I want to try it before it's all gone. I am looking to buy some. I'm looking to buy this next month some Maker's Mark.
Yeah, Maker's Mark is okay.
It's the national bourbon in the United States, so I'm always patriotic enough to support it.
Four Roses is better.
I'm not disputing that, and actually Johnny Walker's a lot better than people think.
He's certainly gone through that for us.
Yeah.
Oh, it smells great.
I would have some, but I've had beer. And it's not good to mix alcohol.
Runs about $20 a bottle.
Where's it from?
If I recall correctly, the recipe is originally from Cuba, but it's not made in Cuba anymore.
Well, of course not.
So the taste is slightly different than I imagine what the original
Nicaragua.
was.
That's where the best cigars these days come from. I'm sorry. Everybody talks about Dominicans. Nicaragua and Honduran are
That
better.
elevation down there is so much better.
It actually, the tobacco from Nicaragua or Honduras actually tastes more like traditional Cuban tobacco.
Yeah.
Dominican is not bad by any stretch of imagination. It's actually excellent. It's just not
Well, if you remember,
Cuban.
that's where Arturo Fuente's getting all their tobacco from.
Yeah,
Nicaragua,
Dominican.
right?
Yeah, actually Dominican Republic now, primarily.
Oh, really?
But they do buy a lot from Nicaragua as well. Now, Dominican Republic tobacco is excellent. It's actually as good as Cuban. It's just different. If you want traditional Cuban style tobacco that tastes the same, and smokes the same, then you have to go to Central America.
So back when I was smoking, I had a Cuban cigar once. An actual, honest to God, this has been smuggled into the United States once.
Don't shred it.
And let me tell you, after smoking it, I don't see why people do dope. Because this thing was a religious experience. You were there that night. This back when the cigar bar was still there. About 5 minutes into smoking the cigar, I'm like, whoa. I am like hyper aware and relaxed at the same time.
It's strong.
I'm feeling all this like tingling sensation along my scalp where the nicotine is affecting me. On the scalp and the temples, and I was like happy the rest of the night.
Yeah, it's a very relaxing experience.
It was a divine experience. I'm just like, yes, we must get that island back.
I'm actually looking forward to visiting.
Forget Puerto Rico, make Cuba the 51st state.
Once Cuba gets its freedom back, I'm really looking forward to visiting.
And everyone's complaining like, you'll just turn it into a big resort. Dude, it's a fucking island.
It's huge.
It's a mountainous island.
It's actually bigger than people think. It's the same size as Florida.
It's not like I can sit there and have mass herds of cattle grazing across Cuba. That's why pork is a more important dish there than beef.
Yeah. No, people forget how big Cuba really is. It's actually bigger than Florida. It's a big island.
Really?
Yeah, it's a big island.
I thought it was a little smaller than Florida.
Yeah, it's actually bigger when you add in the actual land surface. It's actually a little bigger. And it, like he said, it's
I'm going to pause because he's been in there a bit. He might be a while.
Yeah, presidents have.
And we're back.
Sorry.
All right, because it's your turn. I had to wait for you.
All right.
All right, so you see Bert go out the door carrying the body. A couple of people on the street are like lighting each other up. It's a big, massive, chaotic thing. What do you do?
I'm going to keep covering Bert 6.
Are you running after Bert as you're doing that?
Yeah, but facing, the back. I'm just keeping an eye on the rear.
Okay, so you're actually facing the rear, but you're running after Bert.
That's right.
Okay, make sure I understood correctly.
Yeah, I'm not going to be riding that fast with this big guy.
I'm
on
not
my
checking out your rear.
Veronica.
That's okay.
Covering your rear. Bless you.
His rear is actually the one facing you.
Right. How is it?
Well, because I have it, over my shoulder. So I have his junk.
Veronica, you're up.
I have his junk on my shoulder and his ass on my ass and his ass under my
Okay,
hand.
so I'm still bolting, right?
You are still bolting, yes.
I'm washing that
So
glove.
Can I just go full
Yeah,
defense
and
and
that
like,
shoulder
get the hell
bolt.
out of there?
You go full defense, you're running for cover. You hear a mechanical noise in front of you. Something big is coming your way.
Oh, hell.
Give me a smarts roll, you might recognize the sound.
Is
It's
that one of
Percy
them
back from the dead.
bats?
Nope.
Percy!
Nope.
Oh.
Something else.
Tuffy.
Tuffy has destroyed that one.
Yep, she likes to do
Yeah,
that.
she-
She gnaws on everything.
She likes to, ow! She likes to chew things until they have no more
Yeah, that's
stuffing
the reason
left.
why I've been giving JoJo primarily things like
It
towels.
is the Lynx robot that Etta rides.
Mhm.
She's probably coming and riding the robot into danger to save you guys. Y'all can pile up on the robot and we take off on the robot at full speed.
See, I want to marry
I
this
am
chick.
A-okay with that.
Which one?
Okay? So at the end of the round, you all see Etta on her four-legged robot creature come riding up. She pulls the Lynx to a stop so you all can climb on. She's firing into the crowd. She doesn't bother to say, hurry up, run. And yet at the same time, you all sense the need. I shouldn't say the need.
Yeah, it's a good word.
Yeah, no, I know how to do it. Everybody give me a quick spirit roll. Spirit and wild die. Difficulty's only 6.
Yeah, for once I didn't roll very well.
5.
6.
Okay. You feel an urge to get on the bike, on the Lynx. You actually think you hear in your head Etta's voice saying, get on the Lynx, get on the Lynx, get on the Lynx. And then you realize that she didn't have time to say that, and how did you hear her across all the gunfire and everything else? But Santiago is the only one that recognizes that he actually heard that in his head.
I'm pretty sure she's psychic anyway. Bert's already figured that out.
Okay. New round.
Just haven't had time to talk with her about it.
Before we start the new round, may I?
You will not need initiative for this round, as you guys are pretty much out of the combat, but I am going to have you basically declare what you're doing before the round
Can I
starts.
call for some dessert?
Let's go ahead and finish the round because we're almost at
Okay.
the end of this recording, and then we'll give you a break to call dessert and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I got
All right,
to eat anyway.
so what are you doing this round? Obviously, you're getting on top of the Lynx.
Same.
You got to unload the body first, secure the body, and then get on the Lynx. You actually have 3 things to be doing this round.
Mhm.
I'm covering his ass.
You're covering the street, so you're actually not getting on the Lynx at the end of this round yet. You're spending time watching the street. So what I need from you is I need a notice
Well,
roll.
she did tell me to get on the links, right?
Right, but if you're busy watching the street and wanting to have an action ready to fire, you're not going to be able to climb on the lynx at the same time.
I didn't have a chance to react. Because I'm probably going to listen to that.
You're also on the tail end.
Yeah, you got time to make a decision about whether or not you're going to get a lynx or not.
Then I'll
Right.
continue doing what I'm doing.
So for one round, he's not on the lynx. He's watching the street. I need a notice roll from him. I need an agility roll for you to see if you get everything done in one round. I need an athletics roll for you to get on the lynx.
I don't have notice.
Then you roll on your smarts and wall die, -2.
I need one of my dice back here.
Alright.
3.
Oh, die 10.
Perhaps she didn't secure her pants or something well enough. But she tries to get up, and parts of her clothing are like sliding, like
Can I see that
tailing
die
your
10 when
feet
you're
or
done?
something, and you actually fall
Die.
off the lynx. And you hear Edda say, "Gotten Himmel!" And she reaches down, holding onto the lynx in one hand, reaches down with the other hand, and hauls you up onto the lynx, losing her chance to fire this round.
Oh.
That works
And
better.
then she proceeds to curse you out in German,
Which Veronica has no understanding of, so.
which is why I fortunately don't have to detail it. All right, what do you get for your notice?
19.
Sure enough, you see a couple of guys. They might take shots, but when they see you prepared and ready to go at low ready, they're like, "Yeah, no, we're gonna go shoot people over here."
16.
You managed to get everything done in one round. You then hear people screaming as a horde of rad roaches. The poor jockeys, which are dwarf humans, still tied into the saddles, trying to beat them with the rods to get them to stop. As the roaches are panicking for all the gunfire, the roaches are like running through the streets. Some of them are actually flying, scaring the piss out of the poor jockeys because roaches can fly. It's really freaky when they do that, by the way.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't look right because they don't fly level; they fly like this,
Yeah.
right? With that weird "I'm coming to get you"
Yeah.
little legs.
You ever see Mimic? They actually
Yeah.
got that right.
It's,
I know.
it's freaky. But so you have all this mass of roaches from the tournament, like running out and trampling everything. There's mass hysteria. I'm not gonna pull the rest of the Ghostbusters line, but you get the idea. It's like this big chaotic scene in front of you.
Cats and dogs living together in mass hysteria.
The last thing you
Dog
see
and cat.
before they pull the Padre up on top of the Lynx is one poor guy on
Ouch.
Lucille Ball at the head of the column goes yelling, "Oh, now you can fly!"
Bad roach.
And the last thing we see is the players running away at full gallop on top of the Lynx, and we're going to pause there for the next part of the
And
session.
I'm going.